This is, ladies and gentlemen, the optical laser mouse. And it's a mouse that allows you to point to different areas of the screen by moving the cursor. Great. Now how it works is this. The optical mouse has a tiny camera inside, which takes 1,500 pictures every second. Wow, pretty impressive, right? Now it's able to work on most surfaces. The mouse has a small red light emitting diode, which literally bounces light off the surface back into itself, which is a metal oxide semiconductor sensor. So let me say that again. It has a red LED light that bounces off the surface, which then hits a metal oxide semiconductor sensor. And what does this do? It's quite simple. The CMOS, complementary metal oxide semiconductor sensor, sends each image to a digital signal processor. So it sends it to a digital signal processor for analysis. The digital signal processor, at 18 million instructions per second, is able to actually detect patterns in the images and see how the patterns have actually changed since the previous image. So if I move the mouse along, it'll be able to tell me where I'm at, but we'll talk about that in a second. So, based on the changes in patterns over a series of different images, what happens next is simple. The DSP determines how far the mouse has actually moved and sends the corresponding coordinates to the computer. The computer then moves the cursor on the screen based on these coordinates from the mouse. This happens hundreds of times every second, making the cursor, when it moves, appear very smooth indeed. So to recap one more time, the red light emitting diode that bounces light off the surface hits what's called a complementary metal oxide semiconductor sensor, CMOS. The CMOS sensor sends each image to a digital signal processor, DSP, to analyze it. The DSP operates at 18 million instructions per second and is able to detect patterns in images and see how these patterns have moved since the previous image. So if it's moving along lots of different images, it's able to see each image, how it's changed in terms of pattern. The DSP determines how far the mouse has moved and sends the coordinates to the computer. The computer then moves the cursor on the screen based on these coordinates. This happens hundreds of times every second to make it very smooth.